do it again?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we are on the Right Lefties, episode 1.
Cheers.
I'll start off by introducing ourselves, and then we'll explain what we're trying to do with this podcast, and then we'll jump right into it. My name is Oso. This is Llama. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Nah. If you want, I can introduce myself a little bit.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So my name is Llama. I'm a veteran. Served in the Marine Corps for 4 years. Also, I'm currently a student at Miami-Dade, studying computer programming and game development, and I'm into politics.
All right, and start off with our mission statement. Our mission is to provide honest commentary regarding current events in politics, news, sports, and social media with a not-so-serious tone that is relatable to the audience. We will provide our authentic views and opinions while ensuring topics covered are factual and never altered, not misconstrued to manipulate the audience's perception of the truth or their opinions. We will be driven by our desire to inform and entertain those with progressive-leaning views and those looking for an insight on the other side of the spectrum's outlook on society while being rooted in facts and truth. Basically, we'll be doing a lot of different stories. It could be politics. It doesn't always have to be that. But the main important thing will be as honest as we can. And we'll cover what we're covering. The content will be to the best of our ability. It'll be facts and truth. We won't try to lie to you or present things that are not factual or do not have any evidence. All right, we want to add to that?
No, you pretty much nailed it.
All right, what do you want to start off with?
If you want, we can. I say we get the Colin Kaepernick thing out the way, seeing that is the only sports story we have for tonight.
All right, I'll take the lead on that. So yesterday, Colin Kaepernick had a workout that was sanctioned by the NFL, so they had invited him to it. They informed all 32 teams about it, and so it was scheduled for yesterday at an Atlanta Falcons practice facility. But what had happened at last minute, about 45 minutes before the training or the workout was going to start, Colin Kaepernick decided to change it to a high school. The reason being is that his lawyers didn't approve of the liability waiver that the NFL presented them. Because it wasn't, according to Colin Kaepernick and his agent and lawyers, it was more had employee terms on it, and it had nothing to do with them getting protected in case of him or the receivers that he brought getting injured. So that's why last minute he decided to take it to a local high school.
High school, yep.
So pretty much he worked out. Originally 20 scouts showed up to the training facility, but only 8 went to the high school. Yep. But I heard good things. I saw somebody said that his arm is just as strong as when he got out of college, so that's pretty good because he's already in his 30s. So hopefully, man, there's a bunch of teams that are not doing too well. The Dolphins being one of them. The other team would be.
If we had Kaepernick for the Dolphins, I would actually get into football.
Yeah, me too, man.
And I would root for the Dolphins.
The other team, which is funny because it's the rival that they're doing horrible, or the Jets. Well, whatever, man. We'll see with the NFL and the players. And the teams do the right thing, especially the ones that could use him. And it's funny because
my Lyft driver, he was the guy that dropped me off here. He was a Jets fan, and I told him I don't watch the NFL just because of what they've done to Kaepernick, and he's like, "Yeah, that's right, that's true." Because he said he wanted to watch the game today for the Jets. Yeah, so.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens with Kaepernick. But he did say, we all know why I came out here and showed it today in front of everybody. We have nothing to hide. So we're waiting for the 32 owners, the 32 teams, Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
All of them to stop running. Stop running from the troops. Stop running from the people.
So. But what do you think about the way the NFL set the whole thing up? To me, I think it was because the lawyers we're making a good, well, not really the lawyers, but there's just, it kind of looks kind of sketchy that they're trying to make everything private, and why are they not letting the media see, the training? Like, what's so bad about that? Like, why are you keeping it private? Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't get it either. But
Yeah.
I feel like overall, it's a PR move.
Yeah,
To
I think
be
so.
like, look, we gave him a chance. He wasn't good enough.
Yes,
Which is
I think so too. They
That's
wanted
another
this
reason
narrative.
why he wanted to. I think that's why
He did what he did.
Yeah, so the media could see it. People could see that he's still in good shape. That he's ready to play.
Yes.
And he took his own receivers because he didn't want them to fucking
Make up excuses or anything.
No, to have receivers that drop the ball and it makes them look.
That's
bad.
what I'm saying. An excuse is an excuse. Like, oh, they're receivers. Yeah. And then of course Stephen A. Smith coming out shitting on him. Like,
so Stephen A. Smith basically yesterday reported, or he made a video, which ESPN's YouTube account posted. Basically him saying that Colin Kaepernick doesn't want to play, that he wants to be a martyr because of him changing the venue at the last moment. But he didn't give the side of like, okay, he didn't talk about the liability waiver that the NFL wanted him to sign, and he didn't want to sign. So
Stephen A. Smith, I don't know, man. Sometimes he just talks out of his ass, in my opinion.
I don't think it's that. I think he just ESPN paid him $8 million, so he's gonna be defending the sports, and I feel like he's always playing. It's not even politically correct. He just plays like the establishment side for the most part, man.
Yeah, he's not gonna bite the hand that feeds him.
The guy, exactly, that's what it is. And the guy is conservative, man. I feel like he's more conservative because he said that black people need to vote for the GOP in the past.
Yeah, guys,
like
it's counterproductive, bro.
Especially
just because you're like a success story, I guess you would say, doesn't mean that it applies to everybody.
It's not even that. It's just how does the GOP help out black people, but whatever.
They don't.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But so hopefully, man, Colin Kaepernick, the NFL does the right thing, especially the teams that could use him, and they.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think, just like you said, this is just all a PR move on the NFL. They're just blowing smoke up his ass. I don't think he's gonna get called back. I would love for him to get called back. And anyways, this should have been done a long time ago. It's been 3 years. Come on, bro.
It's another thing that's a bad look.
Yeah. So why now? Why not 2-3 years ago?
I don't know.
Exactly, dude. They're not gonna give him shit, dude. And I feel bad for him because he really sacrificed his career to stand up for something that he believed, which a lot of people nowadays don't have that. That's something that the human beings lack nowadays. Principle.
People are gonna be like, he got his 80 mil, so, but it wasn't about that, man.
Yeah, it really wasn't about that, man. Okay, our next story. What do you want to talk about?
All right,
you can choose.
No, that's not really. I feel like we should knock out the Donald Trump impeachment.
Got it.
You take a lead on that.
Ugh. So they just finished having their second public hearing.
I'm not too sure.
I believe
they've been doing it for like 2-3 days.
Yeah, I believe it was on Friday, right?
Yeah,
I believe it was the second public hearing that they had. But yeah, man, a lot of people have been coming out and testifying, and the thing is the people that have been in his administration. So all of these people that are testifying against Trump are essentially people that he put in place to work for him, in administration, and they're all essentially coming out and testifying against him. And the thing about it is that all of their stories matches. They're all saying the same thing. So, the GOP's lame ass defense saying, "Oh, we want to know the whistleblower," and it's all hearsay. That's all bullshit because it's very credible. These people that are testifying against Trump, they're very credible, and. So William Taylor is an ambassador from Trump's administration, and he came out when he testified, I believe on Thursday came out saying that, updating or adding more evidence to the fact that he committed extortion and wanted to find dirt on Joe Biden. His staffer essentially overheard, and by overheard meaning that the staffer was present whenever Solon, which is what's his position in Trump's administration? I forget his position in Trump's administration, but this man, he got overheard essentially talking to Donald Trump, talking about how Donald Trump wanted the investigation into the Bidens, and that, you know, even his staffer asked Sondland, "Oh, what's the situation with Ukraine?" And then Sondland, in response, according to the staffer, told him that Donald Trump wanted the investigation to go in order for the money to proceed, you know, for them to receive assistance. So look, man, and even Sondland's come out, even that same guy that he first came out and
he switched his story.
He switched his story. He knew that, like, no, I'm not gonna get thrown under the bus for Donald Trump.
Basically, he knew this is a sinking ship,
Of
and
course.
I'm not gonna be on it. So he jumped ship before.
Yeah, he jumped ship. Yeah. So all of these people, they're all credible, man. The GOP is trying. This is what I love, though. I love that the GOP is dying on a hill for Donald Trump, because that's the dumbest political move you'll ever do in your careers, man. These people are over here defending Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is gonna go down, man. This man, he's so incompetent. I can't believe he tried to do that. It's ridiculous.
I agree, and I love seeing that the Republicans just fucking dying.
Squirm. They're squirming.
I just love seeing them like destroying each other, man. I love it.
Fox News is over there in turmoil too.
Yeah, they don't even. They trying to be, you know, defend the Republicans, but you have no leg to stand on.
Yeah,
man.
man.
That's happening, man.
The substance is too credible, man, and they are attacking the process. But look,
that's
man.
all they got.
But even then, they're using we must know who the whistleblower is. But who cares if what he said is credible, which has been credible? Who cares who the whistleblower is? You get me? It's like saying like some peon is, oh well, we're warning about something, but oh no, we're fixated in owning and figuring out what's his name or who he is. Like, who cares about that? The substance is what matters.
The Republicans keep trying to. They want to expose the whistleblower. And it's funny, I forgot who it was, but they told Jim Jordan was saying that, and then of course they told him, we want to bring out the whistleblower, but what about where it all started?
Yeah.
The guy that the case is about him,
Donald Trump.
How come he doesn't want to testify? Like, I don't get it. If you have nothing to hide, you will release your. You would be, if you had nothing to hide. If Donald Trump had nothing to hide, he would release his fucking tax returns.
Yep.
Instead of suing the people so that he doesn't.
He would stop obstructing justice.
Exactly.
He would stop obstructing all these investigations that he's going out of his way to obstruct. Like, come on, man. I'm saying, look, bro. After Donald Trump, the GOP is done, bro. R.I.P. Republicans, because dude, if you're going out to bat for this man, the most corrupt politician in the United States history, come on, bro.
And another thing they don't take into account, imagine if we and you get subpoenaed and we're like, fuck it, I'm not gonna go.
We would be under arrest. We would get arrested. We would be in jail.
Arrested and tried and convicted.
Yeah. But these people get away with it. But you know that they're saying now that the people that first came out saying that they were not, from the State Department, that they were not going to testify, they were not going to, answer the subpoenas, the congressional subpoenas, they're apparently saying that some of them are flipping now and going out and are going to testify, but in closed sessions. So that's going to be very interesting too, man. To see the leaks that come out from that, to see what else. This guy is done, man. I don't know why.
And I mean, and I think also it's good that if they answer the subpoenas, and the other people will probably be like,
oh yeah, for sure,
I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah.
And they know that once person steps forward, and credit where credit is due. You did what you were supposed to. Hopefully, they don't lie, but yeah.
Well, no, they're not gonna lie, dude.
I know, cause
they're not. These people that are testifying, they're not like the GOP. The GOP is willing to die for Donald Trump on this fucking hill. But
not these staff.
Not these people know that it's not worth it, man. It's not worth their career. It's not worth their integrity. It's not worth their oath to the Constitution, because everybody that works in the government, that's essentially what they did. They gave an oath to defend the Constitution. And Donald Trump and his administration, and even the GOP, bro, they do the opposite. Of what's to defend the Constitution or honor the Constitution. That they do the opposite of that. So You know, whatever, man. Let the GOP sink with Donald Trump, bro. That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, but whatever, man. Hopefully.
Yeah, man. Hopefully he does get impeached and removed, man. But part of me is feeling like it might not happen, but we'll see, man.
Yeah, I think a lot is not. I think it'll pass in Congress and then the Senate.
In the House. In the House. In the Senate.
That's where the Senate is not gonna pass.
But I think what they're doing now, like showing all these hearings, and you know, essentially, they're showing the public, we the people, all the evidence that they've provided, you know, or that they're, you know, showing, or you know, that they're proving that this man did this, so that when it goes into the Senate, it'll be even harder for the Senate to deny all the crimes because if the populace knows and is aware of the crimes that this guy is doing and committing, you know, it'll be really on the representatives and the constituents, you know, like jodiendo or like letting the representative of their district or their kind like, no, like, look, man, we don't agree with this and we want him removed from the office. So then the pressure will be on then, but who knows, man, you know?
That's the thing, man. I don't know how many people really go out and do that.
Who knows, man? I do feel that the country's a little bit more woke, but yeah, you never know, man.
We're definitely woke, but people still are not as woke as me and you, at least.
Yeah, you can say
you know, they're more woke than anybody but Trump. I feel like there's a lot of that, and
yeah.
it doesn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That doesn't mean it. Like that doesn't. You can say anybody but Trump, so then any dumbass that's not named Donald Trump can win.
Yeah, like Joe
Based
Biden.
on that, exactly, like Joe Biden, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like people, it's people gotta put it on themselves to do the research, man. And you know, me and you can make this podcast and inform people and do our best. But even then, man, people need to see it for themselves. Watch the hearings. Yeah. Watch the debates. Any event where, like the climate debate that CNN had, anything like that, I feel like it's upon us to take that responsibility, and it's our civic duty, man. So
I agree 100%.
It's upon us, but we can move to the next thing if you want.
Yeah. Okay. I say we go and talk about, since we're talking about the criminal of all criminals, freaking Donald Trump, let's talk about his associate.
I'd love to.
Roger Stones. Huh. Roger Stones. This guy's a character, man. So you wanna start it off, or?
Well, basically, Roger Stone, the lying crook that he is, was found guilty on all 7 accounts. And it's funny because it was Trump's Supreme Court that did it.
Yeah.
So you can't say they're not, what is it called, never Trumpers. You can't say that argument out the window.
For sure.
So credit where credit is due. Again, they nailed it, man. The man finally got caught after lying and a career of just smearing and.
So it is 5 counts of lying to Congress, and this all has to do and stems from the Mueller report, and then 1 count of witness tampering and 1 count of obstruction, and then the charge is 50 years, up to 50 years in prison. Which, come on, we all know the guy is not gonna serve the 50 years, which. In my opinion, he should serve the 50 years. Fuck that.
But I bet the sentence is going to be like 15 years.
I don't even think it's going to be 15 years. I promise you that they're going to give him 5 years and that's it, dog. And then like maybe 3 years of probation.
Should make a bet on this.
We should make a bet on this.
What do you think it will be?
I think it'll be like 5 years in prison and then like a year or 2 of probation. That's what I think. The guy's going to get a slap on the wrist, bro. I hate to say it, but white collar crime here. People that commit white collar crime get away with
everything.
Pretty much everything.
But I really believe that based on the 50, they're gonna be lenient as hell. They'll probably give him like anywhere between, I say, 10 to 15.
That's a lot. That's a lot for an old man.
But,
what is he, like 60s? In the 60s, right?
Probably older, but maybe. But I feel like they'll be like 10 to 15, but then they'll somehow cut a deal or some dumb shit, and he'll serve nowhere near that. And I bet whatever this would be years from now. But if he doesn't get pardoned, which that's another layer.
Oh my!
If he doesn't get pardoned, I bet money he'd serve. No matter what He's not gonna serve nowhere near the sentencing.
Oh yeah, that's
and
for
nowhere damn near 50 years.
Look, man, if Donald Trump pardons this man, in my opinion, that'll just... Well, obviously, me and you know that Donald Trump is corrupt, but to those people that don't think he's corrupt, that right there should let you know, like, yo, why is this guy pardoning a criminal? Which he already has, too. Donald Trump has pardoned criminals. War criminals, and all the fucking criminals that in an administration that have gotten, pardoned from him. So it's like...
What was that guy? Forgot his name. The guy from Arizona?
What guy from Arizona?
Oh, the sheriff. That scumbag sheriff that had those... Like, they had those horrible camps.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, dude, but I forget his name too.
Can't believe his name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah, I know who you're
talking
talking
about.
That
guy, that old.
He got pardoned.
Yes, I'm saying he pardoned that piece of shit that had like camps with people living in prisons where the people were in a tent at like 100 and something degrees.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
And he thought it was a joke. The guy is old.
And he would make them wear like pink uniforms and say something about that.
Make them wear like pink underwear
or something.
Like, have them
something
embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like,
and he got in trouble with the courts there.
Yes, and then Trump pardoned him, bro.
Yeah.
How terrible is that?
Yeah.
And that's just not to mention all these war criminals that got convicted that have done some crazy
Navy
ass
SEAL,
shit.
The Navy SEAL. Look, man, it's terrible, man. Because if I as a veteran or as a Marine did that in Afghanistan, if I did some crazy shit like that in Afghanistan, I would have gotten destroyed by the Green Weenie. And the Green Weenie being the government. Yeah.
Green Weenie, that's what they call it?
That's what we call it, yeah, the Green Weenie. Yeah, man.
Funny.
You know, it's really unfair. And this man committed some heinous ass acts over there. And,
that's pretty funny.
But whatever. Weenie. So, yeah, man, I really hope Roger Stone rots in jail. But I know he's not going to rot in jail, man. That's the reality. It's just very unfortunate because
you know what?
I hate this man.
At the very least, it's like another one bites the dust.
You're right.
You know, it's like, okay, let's say that he gets pardoned, but too bad. It doesn't take away that he was guilty.
That's true.
You know,
that's true.
Fuck Roger Stone.
I agree. Fuck him.
And we could talk about Jank next, but yeah, since just to tie it in, fucking how Roger Stone went and it was in I think 2016 the
RNC
Republican National Convention, how he showed up about our
crushed his
trespassing and then like trying to and Jank all the power in the world not to whoop his ass, and I wish he would have.
Not only him, but Alex Jones too, though.
Yeah, and then he was with Alex Jones, another hack.
Yeah, another hack, another loser, bro.
So I had seen Jank post about it, and he was like, "This is actually personal for me."
Yeah.
And this shat on Roger Stone.
Yeah, for real.
You guys should check that video out. We'll put the link in the description. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think we should, speaking of Jank, move on to the TYT endorsements.
And Jank running for Congress. Yeah, this is crazy, man.
So we can start off with, let's say, this week, Jank from the Young Turks made two huge announcements, which I thought it was pretty big. First, he endorsed Bernie, and I was scared, man. I really thought when we were watching that video, I was like, oh my God, please. And I was like, if you know Warren and Bernie, it's like, you know who is better, man.
Yeah.
I would cast my vote for Warren if she's the one. Like,
of course.
You know, I'm not.
If she's the nominee, yeah.
I would do it because it's the right thing to do. She's going to be the better candidate for sure. But between Warren and Bernie, I'm sorry, she's the second best candidate, right? I think she's him and her are above the pack, policy wise. Policy wise, everything they believe in, they're right there, right? They're more. But Bernie is miles ahead of her.
Oh yeah,
you know the guy is fighting for everybody.
He's the OG, in my opinion.
And it's like
the original.
Everything
gangster.
He's been talking about for 40 years. These politicians are now catching up to him, and then they're like the diluted version of Bernie.
Yeah,
like Medicare for all, for those who want it. Medicare plus option.
People are just a hack.
Yeah, you know. Or even like Elizabeth Warren saying that Medicare for all is just a framework.
Yeah, she kind of messed up. She came out with like, I guess, more detailed plan for the Medicare for all, and the Progressive Voice went on there and analyzed it a little bit and read through it and found some fishy, like, political words that politicians like to use, like access to healthcare, like shit like that. And it kind of is like, oh my god, this lady's kind of, for some reason she's sounding kind of like a typical politician, using all these words. But we'll just have to see, I guess.
Just like PP said, it's an oxymoron to be saying Medicare for all option.
Yes.
No, man, Medicare for all means we all get it.
Exactly. There's no option.
But option it's like a loophole.
Yeah.
And in that loophole, that's where you're gonna get in that access, which means we all have access to Medicare now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We just can't afford it. So
exactly.
And I don't know, people make the argument that it's gonna make it more competitive, but I can understand that in other industries and other sectors, but when it comes to healthcare,
less competitive or more competitive?
More competitive prices.
Are you talking about what, in the Medicare for all system, or
having the option? That's what the
argument
option is. But
me and your brother were talking about this last night, and he made some interesting points that I was like, oh man, like I don't know how to counter these points. And it was about the public options. He's actually in favor of the public options.
Yeah, I'm not, man.
I'm not in favor of it either, but he was making some very... We can talk about it later on tonight when we're at the house. So you can see his take on it, and it makes you really think, like, oh...
No, we can bring him for an episode so he can bring his points, because I think he does have valid points. It's fine. I don't know. In theory, he makes good points, but the execution is where, to me, it brings a problem. Like, in theory, it sounds good. It'll make prices competitive, but then I feel like that's not what's going to happen. I feel like they'll just... It's not even that the execution of, like... In theory, it sounds good, but I feel like that's not what's going to happen as far as... It won't be an option that everybody can just go to. It's not going to be Medicare for all. Then the public option. It's going to be a watered down version of Medicare for all, and then the public option. That's what I feel is going to happen. And I feel like then that's not really going to be... It's not Medicare for all, bro. It's not.
No, it's not. Because the thing is not trying to be... It's like trying to be like Obamacare, but with a public option.
Exactly. That's what it's going to be. It's like we're still going to... I bet money we're still going to end up... In that scenario, paying out of pocket or paying a monthly whatever.
I told him that I don't mind having the government come in and provide. I don't mind having the government in that aspect in my life, because you know how some people might argue, oh, it's too much big government. I don't mind having government in that aspect. When it's providing health care, I don't mind it. But whatever.
And by definition, government is supposed to help protect you, man. Like
we the people,
But let's go back to the endorsement. So
yeah,
I was scared that he was gonna endorse Warren, because if you watch TYT daily, you'll see how I think he's more like you said before. He tries to not seem like he's biased towards Bernie 100%.
Yeah,
and I hear him out too. I want to hear what Elizabeth Warren brings to the table. And people make the argument, she's younger, she's a woman, we need that. That's fine. But it's not about that. I'm not voting for a woman because she's a woman. I'm voting for the policies. If she was saying what Bernie has been saying for 40 years, and if they were the same candidate, I'd be like, what? They're the same candidate policy-wise. They both have the 40 years of history, which they don't.
Yeah.
Then what? Let a woman run it, because it's time to... It's different. She's younger.
Yeah. She's,
quote unquote, based off of that, she's healthier. And it doesn't even matter. Like, it's not but it's like, you know what? Why not? Why can't... I would vote for her just because women can do the job just as good. But that's not the case, man. He's way better than her. He's been saying it for 40 years. He was never a Republican or any other, party. He's been independent and,
She used to be a Republican.
Caucus up to her 40s.
Yeah.
But anyways, Jank made the right decision and he endorsed Bernie. When I heard that, I swear I was like, I felt like the tears about to just come out of my eyes, because I was that nervous, and it brought a big relief off of me.
Anna endorsed Bernie as well.
And then Anna, she basically did it before.
Yeah, but I knew she was gonna endorse Bernie Sanders. She's always come out and in support of Bernie Sanders. And I agree, man. I agree that Bernie Sanders is the best candidate. I would love to see Sanders as president and Warren as a VP. That would be, to me, like the holy grail of
That's definitely the
tickets.
ideal.
Yeah.
The ideal ticket.
These people can be like the starter of the progressive era, you know, and then we'll just need like people like AOC and Jank, even Jank, to continue that legacy.
But it's like you said, it's like how they are on the debate stage. Remember that you were saying, like, it's like an anime of them just fighting for the people, man.
Yeah.
And them having their backs and fighting for the people. That's what that ticket would do.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, now then, Jank, he's running for Congress, which, man, imagine having Jank in Congress, bro, fighting for the people. This would be phenomenal, man. This man, I believe if this man became a congressman, he would be a fighter for all of us. He would definitely, like Kyle Kalinske said, move the Overton window to the very left, you know, because right now it's to the right. And this man will grab that Overton window and drag it with himself just all the way to the left. And I can just picture him doing that, man, really fighting for us. I would love to see Jank.
I gotta donate to that motherfucker.
Yeah, I would really love to see this man in Congress, man. I know he would fight for us, man.
That guy, man, if you don't know who he is, Jank Uyghur on TYT, spelled with a C, but pronounced Jank.
Yeah.
That guy is on that. He's like Bernie level. Even though he was a Republican.
Yeah.
And he does have like a history of stupid blogs but that was 18 years ago.
And people change, man. You know, if you're honest about your opinions and you're honest about who you are, you know, there's room for that. You know, I used to be very conservative back in the days, but as I mature and grow and you learn from your experience and you know, you learn to change a little bit. Your opinions,
the knowledge,
exactly, tend to change and morph who you are, you know. And yeah, you know, I don't mind that Jank used to be Republican back in the days.
He made a full 180, and then he's fighting even harder, like than most people on the left, and for the right reasons. Like he wants to. It's the same thing. He basically everything Bernie represents for the most part. Like 99% of it, that's where he stands. Taking money out of politics, legalizing marijuana, Medicare for all, college for all.
Yep.
Eliminating college debt. What else?
He's a true progressive fighter, man.
Exactly. Any of the progressive values, that's where he stands.
Yep.
So, you know what? Hopefully he wins it against, what is it, Katie Hill?
No, I think Katie Hill was a chick that was that guy.
Oh no, you're right.
She got involved in some scandal there, and she had to
resign. So he's running
to fill in that position. Yeah,
which I believe it's in December.
Yeah.
No, it's March. I'm sorry, it's March.
And it's for the California 25th district too.
California 25. So hopefully, good luck to Jake. I don't think he needs it. He almost got like in 3 days, I think. 300,000 and from 10,000 donors, which is incredible, bro.
That's amazing.
Shitting on the other people that are all establishment, centrist Democrats, and the Republican guy that's running as a damn criminal that he got, you know, a Trump associate that got convicted too.
Yeah.
You know, he served like how much? It was like a couple days
in prison.
Yeah, he did like a couple days or like a couple weeks. It was some just stupid short sentence. But, yeah, man, he's going to destroy that district. He's going to kill it.
I really hope he wins.
No doubt, man. Especially 300,000 in 3 days, bro.
It'll be amazing to see him.
That's better than these people that are polling at 1%.
That's true.
You know, at that rate.
That's true. But yeah, we'll definitely keep an eye on that.
300,000, that's crazy, man.
We'll keep an eye on that because, you know, I love Jank, in my opinion.
Yeah, I love
Jank. I
Jank
can make it. But you want to move on to other things?
Let me just mention one more thing. And before anybody gets it twisted,
I was going to say that
relinquished all his editorial control at TYT.
Yep. To
Anna. So, you know, that's amazing right there, too.
That's
now,
a good point. You brought it up.
Anna has all the editorial control.
That's crazy, too.
So I'll leave it at that.
That's crazy that he did that, too. I thought that was kind of crazy. But good point. All right, we can talk about Matt Bevin conceding to Andy Bashar.
Okay.
In the governor's Kentucky race, correct?
This is beautiful.
Yes.
I feel like it's an encapsulation of the shit Republicans do. But instead of getting away with it, he couldn't. So basically, it's like a week ago, or more than a week and a half ago, Andy Beshear beat the incumbent, the current governor, Matt Bevin. He beat him by 4,000 votes. Just a slim lead overall, but that's 4,000 votes. And then this guy did not want to concede because it was that close, right? It's arguable, you know. It's that close that you want to
make sure.
You wanted to see if it'll trigger a recount or whatever.
Yeah.
So the votes went out. They counted them, whatever, the night of the voting, and he didn't come out and concede. Usually that's what happens. And I believe they did do a recount or like a retabulation. Because he was saying there was irregularities. There was no evidence. He claimed that there was voting irregularities. And then...
had no evidence for it.
According to NPR, they did like a retabulation, which is a recount. And then it turned out that there was just a 1 vote difference. And it actually went to a write-in candidate. Mm. So like, bro, I'm sorry. Right there, your theory just falls flat on its face.
Yeah.
But... he did the right thing in conceding. He said he came out and he was like, we've got to be able to have integrity. And the thing about this, he came out, conceded, and of course he still tried to undermine the voting process. But whatever, he conceded, so I'll give him that. But he said, we've got to be able to have integrity. And I would encourage to ensure that the rolls are accurate. That's the way in which we tabulate votes are accurate. That there's recourse to be able to determine what was or was not cast. So he was trying to say, like, next time, let's make sure that everything is done correctly. Like, it wasn't correctly this time, bro. You just lost.
Yeah.
You didn't get what you wanted. That's fine.
Yeah.
And, but he did go on to say that, you know, him and his, I guess, administration wanted to make a smooth transition for the winner, Andy Beshear, to come in on December 10th and take over, which is good. So, and Andy Beshear said that within his first week, he plans on restoring the voting rights to 140,000 felons, which I think that is amazing because in Florida we're trying to do that. We did do that, but now the Republican legislature is trying to fight it again.
Of course.
So, like I was saying, this is Republicans' encapsulation, except they came out the right way, right? Because he didn't like how you say they say they're all about the Constitution, but no.
Exactly.
They did it the constitutional way, and then here these motherfuckers come and try to fight this shit.
And another surprising thing that surprised me that the Republican didn't do here is that, so I think it was in Georgia or, whenever we had the elections in November, where one of the governors, I don't know if it was in Georgia, I think it might have been Georgia or Louisiana, one of the governors, a Republican governor, lost his seat to a governor, a Democratic governor, but they had enough power, you would say, in the House, in the legislature. So then what they were doing in this legislature is they were passing laws before the actual Democrat came in to strip him of his power, to strip the governor of any powers to pass laws or anything. So I'm surprised that they didn't do that here. This guy. Because Republicans, of course, obstructionists. I'm telling you, the Republicans, the GOP is the antithesis of what it is to be the party of rule and law, because they are not that. They're the opposite of that.
I was scared that they were gonna do a recount, but then it would be up to like the Republican-led legislature to decide who wins, which is kind of dumb. It should just be a recount final, but that's never how Republicans want things done the right way. They always want it their way.
Of course,
to bend the rules and so they can control everything. Yeah. But what do you want to talk about next?
I say we go to we can talk about the Bolivian president situation.
You want to take the lead on that?
Sure. So there was a military coup that happened in Bolivia, and the president, his name is Morales, right? What's his first name? Huh?
Evo Morales.
Evo Morales, yeah, he essentially he stepped down, but it was a coup, man. The military was threatening him, and they were telling him that he needed to step down. And the messed up part is that this man was a good president. He's been in power now for 14 years, and he's actually improved the economy of Bolivians. He's also increased the poverty level. So the poverty level is not in the sense that not that more poverty increased, but actually decreased. So the rate at which the poverty level starts has increased in the sense that more people have wealth now. You understand what I'm saying? Or I might be saying that incorrectly.
I think you said that wrong.
Yeah.
But all in all, he's
essentially improved the lives of Bolivians. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw I had heard somewhere, I want to say it was Kyle Kalinske.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but that he, diverted $5 million for schools and hospitals in those areas of poverty,
He's done a good job. Look, he's been in power for 14 years, man. If a president, obviously some of these presidents nowadays, which are not really presidents, they just use it as a mask. But if they're staying in that power for that long, it must be doing something good. This guy has actually done something good, and of course, the opposing faction, whatever it is in Bolivia,
it's like the right wing.
Yeah, the right wing faction in Bolivia, they didn't want him in power anymore, so they took him out, man. And it's a very unfortunate because this man was doing good, man, and so he did the race, and of course he came out that he won again. And then the opposing faction was complaining that, oh no, there's some bullshit, some
irregularities without any evidence.
And for the way they do the voting over there in Bolivia is super complicated. Like, they have two votes. It's like an unofficial vote and an official vote, and for some reason the media was in cahoots too with the government and misleading the people, and I saw this whole drama thing started. So then he accepted a recount. He's like, yeah, let's do a recount.
I think it's not a recount.
It's not a recount. It's just
another election.
Yeah, just so that
vote.
Exactly, my bad. Just so that they can see that this man was legitimate.
And that shows the confidence that he had. That I'm not cheating anybody, so let's do it again.
Exactly. And no, these people they just didn't want him, man. They wanted him out, which is messed up, man. Because again, he's actually done good, for his people. And then now the lady that they're putting in, oh my gosh, she's like a religious conservative lady, who there's videos of her walking in with a Bible, a huge old Bible over her head, saying, "Oh, the Bible now returns to the public." What is that dumb stuff, man?
Bro.
Excuse me. I hate religious people, man. And especially if you're in government and you're religious like that, it is the worst thing you can then. Yeah. It's the worst thing. It's her name is Janine Anez. She's the second vice president of Bolivia's Senate and appointed herself as president. So ridiculous, bro. This lady. And then the thing is that they found out that this lady is a racist towards the natives in Bolivia.
That's so crazy.
She's a racist towards the natives
and indigenous people.
Yeah, the indigenous people, and 2/3 of Bolivia is made out of indigenous people. Think about that.
This is another classes and
it's
shit.
Just ridiculous.
Motherfuckers are all the same, bro.
It's ridiculous, man.
And of course, the fucking Mike Pompeo,
the United States government,
the National Security Advisor, right?
Yeah.
Of Trump, appointed by Trump, was over here congratulating her.
I hate when your government gets into these affairs, other countries' government's affairs. It's the most annoying thing ever, man. It's ridiculous. They hate us for that reason, bro. I'm telling you.
Or we always have our hands in shit that we had nothing to do with.
Yeah, what are we doing?
But of course, just like everything else.
Like Venezuela, too?
Just like everything else, I'm pretty sure, or the main reason the government wants them to do that is because of the government is thinking about the Nicaraguans and their whole thing. Because we don't have any resources.
Yeah, but they've already done Nicaragua.
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
Yeah.
But talking about now, there's no resources there for them that they would want to involve themselves in the Middle East. We know it's all the oil and all that.
And Venezuela is
the oil again.
Too, yeah.
And here, I forgot where it was. I want to say it might have been Kyle Kalinske too, but they have that Bolivia is rich in lithium. which is where like cell phone batteries are made, laptop batteries.
I didn't hear that. That's interesting.
So
now it makes sense.
It's saying that it's rich in lithium, so there's a big reason that the U.S. might want to be involved in that.
I see.
So that's like the resources that they're providing.
Of course, man.
But goes to show you, like, even God damn it, man, fucking the U.S. has no right to be in that. And basically, like, if you believe in the Constitution in the U.S., you should support him winning because he did it the right way. It's not like he was there in power for 14 years, but it wasn't like on some dictator shit. He won it fair and square every time. He just kept getting reelected.
Exactly.
I think where he messed up was like that he was like in favor of changing the term limits, which if you're doing the right thing
in a democracy, yes, you know it makes sense, you know, to have term limits. But again, if you keep getting voted in and it's nowhere in the Constitution that you don't, you know, if a person keeps getting reelected, he can continue being reelected, then why even suggest a thing, you know?
Yeah.
If it was like a Maduro like character or a Castro like character that was, you know, staying in power because he's forcing himself on the people, then okay, yeah, I would understand the term limits. But it's not. Square, he's winning fair and square, and he's loved by the people over there.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. If you're doing the right things, helping out the not the lower class, but or whatever.
Just the people, man.
The people, exactly. You're not helping out those at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Cough, cough, like some people. Donald Trump.
Yeah. All right.
But let me add just a little bit more. So the government, like you said, it was a coup, right? They basically forced him out. They ransacked his house.
Yep.
So he was scared, and luckily Mexico granted him political asylum, but he said that it sucks, man. The guy said he's not gonna run for a re-election just so he can go back to the country. Like, how? That's so terrible, man.
This is how they shut down their political opponents, man, and it's terrible, though. The people should not stand for that, bro. The people should be out there protesting in his name and, you know, fighting for him, because it's messed up, man, what these people did, what these people do. The people that want power, bro, they'll do anything to obtain it, man, and it's terrible.
Yeah, and, you know, the people, you can't really, it's hard to fight the military like that. Especially over there, in places like that. If you don't have your gun, yeah, man. Places like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But just to say one more thing, look, bro, the world, or just people in general are getting tired of their governments. You know, when the government is not doing their job, people are going to rise up and fight. You know, and that's exactly what's happening all around the world. You know, it's happening here in the United States with this administration, and it's happening over there in Hong Kong. It's happening in Bolivia. It's happening in Chile. Brazil, yeah.
Because I think in Brazil, that Lulu guy was the same thing, except that he like. So crazy how they just imprison their political opponents, bro.
Corrupt, man. I'm telling you, the corrupt, man. They just...
It's like a global thing now, too, man.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure I've heard some stories of, like, the people in Russia are getting tired of Putin, too, man. He's been in power for a long time now.
Russia's on some other shit. Yeah, they're fucking murking these guys.
Yeah.
And you want to... What's it called? They want to run against this Putin.
They get
good
killed,
luck, man, because...
locked up or go disappeared.
And they killed. Yeah, the ball's on them, man. That shit is crazy.
Yeah, Russians don't play, man. Freaking Russians. All right, man. We can...
Where do you want to go next?
I say we go to the Santa Clarita shooting, and then we end it with the Stephen Miller.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. So it was this week, correct?
It was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Like 3 days ago. So I think Thursday or Friday.
Yes, we had another school shooting.
Not surprised.
Would you look at that? Yeah, so authorities said the student's name is Nathaniel Burhow, and then he was armed with... Burhow, you might be right. Okay. He was armed with a .45 caliber handgun and opened fire Thursday in a school squad and killing 15-year-old Gracie Ann and Moleberger and 14-year-old Dominic Blackwell. And then he wounded three others. Of course, like a pathetic human being that he is, he decided to shoot himself, inflicting a fatal gunshot wound to the head, but ended up surviving. So
he died.
He died?
He died in the hospital, I think, yesterday.
Oh, there you go. The guy died.
Lucky bitch.
Whatever, man. It's like the easy way out, right?
But as far as that, I mean, it occurred on his birthday.
Yeah, it was
very
his birthday.
weird. And as of now, there's no.
The guy was. How old was the guy? How old was the kid?
I think it was his 16th birthday.
Yeah, 16. He was 16. 16 years old. What's wrong with these kids, bro?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of factors. Not too many details have come out on this, so
true.
I don't want to speculate anything. But I feel like it's your run of the mill. But even then, the kid, I'm pretty sure he was like on the track team. I want to say he had a girlfriend. I could be wrong about that.
What the hell? That's so crazy.
So this is like very out of the norm because I feel like they said he was a normal kid too.
Yeah. No signs of anything crazy or anything. His parents didn't.
His dad was a hunter. Like, he was like an avid hunter into that. And the guy made his own bullets. That type of thing.
Yeah.
But even then, I don't feel like that, you know.
Yeah.
If you're a regular, normal kid and you don't have any social, emotional problems, I feel like there's people that are into guns and, you know.
Yeah.
And they're not violent. They don't have a violent streak in them. But I don't know too much about him because of the details, like I said.
Yeah, there really hasn't been that much detail since the came out.
And I don't think it's like definitely not like a white nationalist thing this time. I really don't. The kid was Asian. Well, he was half Asian, half white. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything, does it?
Yeah.
To that, it could be an Asian kid. But I really don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know either, but you never know.
I think it was very more a social, emotional thing. Like, maybe I'm telling you something.
Maybe he was bullied or something, you think?
I mean, I don't even, I'm not going to speculate on everything, but yeah, it was definitely...
Well, we can say we're speculating.
It's definitely speculation, but like,
Yeah.
I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't think it was
Obviously, we don't know because the details haven't been out, and
I really don't think it was like a terrorist thing.
no, but you think it might have been like a bullying thing? The
Could've
two people that he killed, like, do you know if there's any relationship between them? No, right? There haven't been
I really
any
don't
details.
think so. I don't know, but I really don't think so because he killed them, like, I guess, it was at 7:30 in the morning. Unless he knew that the people, that's their hangout spot before class.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There again, we don't have that much information, and not a lot of information has come out since. But it's very unfortunate that we have another school shooting in this country. How many school shootings there have been since the year started?
I have no idea, but it's very prevalent nowadays, man. And
I bet you over 100.
I don't know what's the solution, man. But I think it's
man,
just making it harder to get a gun.
Yeah, that's exactly the solution. I'm not in favor of getting rid of guns or banning guns.
I think we should ban ARs.
No, man. No, dude. If anything, it should be even more harder to get an AR.
Okay, that's another.
You're not gonna look, bro. You're just not gonna be able to ban guns. It's in our Constitution. People take that very, very serious.
All right, there's amendments to that, but
it's amendments, but it's just not gonna happen, dude.
But look, the kid went in with a 45 with a revolver.
Yeah.
How many bullets are in a revolver?
6.
6, right? So the 15-year-old that died, the 14-year-old that died,
5 got hit.
3 others, and then himself, right?
Yeah.
That's 6 bullets.
Yeah, 6 bullets.
So if he's reloading a revolver, I think in that time somebody will stop him from seeing him reload.
Who knows, man?
But if he has an AR, you think it's 6 kids? If he has a rifle with a bigger magazine, do you think it's gonna be 6 kids?
Obviously, it's gonna be 6 kids.
All right, so that's my argument.
Yeah, but you can say the same thing when he's reloading after he murked the 30 kids. Somebody can stop him when he's reloading.
Yeah, but there's 30 kids now. It's not 6.
Look, I don't think it matters the difference about how many people die. These kids shouldn't be having guns. Period. These people.
I mean, that's true.
They shouldn't be. It shouldn't be so easy for them to get these guns. Do we know where he got that gun from? I'm assuming. Obviously, I don't know, but it's safe. Is it safe to assume that he probably got it from his parents? Yeah, from his parents. Yeah, so, you know.
But I'm not. My thing is not how he got it. Obviously, a 16-year-old isn't allowed. If he got it, he obviously didn't. It felt like he got it the way he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
he's not even allowed to have one.
Yeah.
But my point is, it could have been an AR, is what I'm saying, and then it could have been more than him and the other 2 victims. That's my point, man. But I don't know, man. I really don't know. I would like, you know what? I'm gonna look into the numbers of it, but I feel like how many. There's very strict laws in Japan. There hasn't been shootings there in forever. Australia, the same thing.
They banned guns. That's why.
Yeah, but it's different. You know, I don't know how it works over there. I don't know how the crime is over there. Excuse me, but here I feel like if we do that, it's too late. There's a bunch of people that have ARs and guns that shouldn't have them. Or the black market exists too, so it's always going to be hard to solve that problem.
And I don't think it's just going to happen. It's just, to me, I just cannot see Americans giving up their guns, bro. I'm telling you, it's just not going to happen.
I think some people would if they need the money, if they do like a buyback program.
But the majority of them, I don't think.
I don't even think it's that. I think just the NRA is so deep in all these politicians' pockets that nothing's going to change.
Yeah, but the NRA is done, bro. They filed for bankruptcy. They're losing their fight, and all these people that support the NRA, they're losing too, man. The NRA and these politicians that support them is just for now, you know, just now.
Yeah, well,
it is changing. It's changing, you know. It's changing. People look at the Douglas Stone, the high school. What is it, Stone High Douglas?
I think it's like Stoneman Douglas or something.
They were shitting on Rubio when they were interviewing him on that interview, and they're like, "You don't think that all those kids? Do you think they're gonna vote for Rubio when they can? Hell no, they're not gonna vote for Rubio." You know, this is the problem with all these Republicans and even Democrats that think that they're gonna get away, you know, being in support of the NRA or doing. We're watching, bro. People are watching, and they're gonna hold you accountable. If not now, in the future when they can, you know. And that's the thing that these people are not seeing. But yeah, man, I get what you're trying to say, man. The whole AR thing, but all I'm saying is gonna be really hard, man, for people to give up their guns like that. But yeah, it just sucks. There was another shooting,
and that's not the first or the last one of the year, I bet.
Oh yeah, the year's about to end, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's another shooting.
Unfortunately, man.
Yeah,
that shit is sad as fuck.
Yep.
What else? What's our last story?
Our last story is the Stephen Miller's leaked racist emails. This man. This man.
Trump lackey. He works. What is he for Trump? I don't remember off the top of my head. He's definitely involved, and he's like.
Yeah, I forget his position too, man.
He's definitely involved with the immigration.
He's the one that passed the immigration policy, but that's not his position.
So Democrats want him to resign, rightly so, because between 2015 and 2016, Stephen Miller, I don't know if you know who he is, but this guy's pretty much a racist motherfucker. Anti-immigrant. This guy wants...
The press secretary. That's what he is.
He's a press secretary? That's all he is?
No, he's White House director of speech writing.
Oh, okay. That's funny. So this guy's involved in that shit. So that explains why. But this guy basically was he wanted policies that included setting arrest quotas for undocumented immigrants. Like, that's crazy, bro. You want a quota for that? An executive order banning immigration from 5 Muslim majority countries. You can't tell me that's not racist. And he was also behind the policy of family separation.
Yep.
At these resettlement camps. But let's get into some of the emails. So, like, let's see. One of the things it's funny because I recently found out about this shit because of him. He Breitbart or right winged Steve Bannon fucking new. I don't even know if we should call it news. Bro.
They're not the news, but they go by the news. But these people are not news, man. Breitbart News is not news.
So let's say they're
right wing propaganda. Website. That's what they are.
You know that sounds better. Right wing propaganda website, organization, printing press, whatever. Breitbart. He wrote an email to, her name was Katie McHugh. Mm-hmm. She was an editor at the time, and it's funny. Before I go into that, of course, she was fired for posting anti-Muslim tweets. And this is back to what I was saying, that is like, I love seeing the right shit on themselves and destroy each other. Like, you're part of the right, but you're shitting on that guy. Like, bro, you did the same shit.
Yeah.
So I love seeing them just eat each other alive. But so whatever, he recommended like the book. It's called The Camps of the Saint, and I gotta read like the synopsis on this. It's basically like an anti-immigration book. The plot of the Camp of the Saints follows a poor Indian demagogue named the Turd Eater, because he literally eats shit, and deformed the parent's psychic child who sits on his shoulders. So already they're depicting immigrants as shit-eating people and like a deformed kid. Together they leave an armada of 800,000 impoverished Indians sailing to France, dithering European politicians, bureaucrats, and religious leaders, including a liberal pope from Latin America, debate whether to let the ships and accept the Indians or do the right thing in the book's vision by recognizing the threat that migrants pose and killing them all. The non-white people of the earth, meanwhile, wait silently for the Indians to reach shore. The landing will be the signal for them to rise up everywhere and overthrow society. So basically, it's like this whole racist thing in it. They basically talk about poor black people and brown people. Literally, it's basically they're fear mongering about immigrants taking over
the Westerns,
the white Western
civilization.
So they talk about poor black and brown people overrunning the Western civilization. Chinese people pouring into Russia. The Queen of England is forced to marry her son to a Pakistani woman. The mayor of New York must house an African American family at Gracie Mansion. Let me see. The defenders of white Christian supremacy attempt to defend their civilization with guns blazing, but are killed in the process. So none of that is true, but it's basically demonizing anybody that's not white.
Yeah.
That's basically what this book is about, and this guy was recommending it to Breitbart, which is like, sorry, man, if you can't defend that as not being racist, and this guy is still working at the White House, and the worst part, the White House backed him up.
No, I think the worst part of all this is that this man, Stephen Miller, is Jewish. This guy is Jewish, and he's over there siding with white supremacists.
The irony, bro.
Yo, what is wrong with these people, man?
Like, self-hate is a real thing.
Yeah, man. He's like another Candace Owens.
Our identity.
Yeah, what's wrong with it? It's like, what is wrong with you people? This guy's over there, and it's like Ben Shapiro, too. Ben Shapiro is Jewish, and over there siding with the party that shits on Jews. Right. Like, how stupid do you have to be? How loathsome do you have to be in order to do that? You know, it's ridiculous, man. This guy, Stephen Miller, is such a terrible person. I'm happy that there is petition to get this man out. This man should have not even ever been there. But of course Donald Trump, with his racist, that he is, of course he's going to invite this man into his administration. But yeah, man, this guy is just bad news. Bad news for all of us.
Yeah, fuck Stephen Miller, man. I hope that guy gets thrown out on his ass. He probably will. I feel like he will.
I don't think he's gonna get thrown out. I think he's just gonna.
I think he's gonna resign.
He's gonna man. These people.
You're right, but I feel like
he's gonna.
Even Republicans can't defend this. So you can't defend racism. They claim to be the party.
Republicans are racist, bro.
Yes, but the right claims that the Democrats. Candace Owens. They claim that the Democrat is not the party for minorities.
Yo, Candace Owens is another Stephen Miller, dude. This lady has identity issues.
She doesn't have identity issues. She just the paycheck turning point.
She's
paycheck.
A grifter, yeah.
Identity issues would be more like the Proud Boys. Those motherfuckers. Nobody's paying them to think that did that stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know. Stephen Miller, definitely, there's some identity issue there. Like, bro, you're Jewish. You're not a white Protestant.
Yeah, dude.
Christian.
You think when
male,
when the people in Charleston protest, the Jews would not replace us. But you know, like, what are you, dude? What are you? Aren't you Jewish? So if these people decide to ransack people's houses and, you know, go out on a riot or do anything crazy, you don't think you'd be one of the guys they murk or they lynch or they do something crazy? Come on, bro. And you're over there rooting for them. That is the worst part. To me, it makes no sense.
Nah, it definitely doesn't matter. It's just like, bro, you're a sellout to Jews. And it's not even that. It's like, you just have the wrong mentality or like, what? And the guy doesn't seem that bright, man. I've seen him on CNN or on Fox, actually, and the guy just looks like an idiot. You can't defend these racist positions.
Yeah.
Especially when the numbers don't bear out what you're claiming. Like, for example, undocumented immigrants commit crimes at half the rate as natural-born Americans, and documented immigrants committed at a quarter of natural-born Americans. So, you know, I'm sorry, but that rhetoric of rapists, drug dealers are coming in and pouring through the border, and they're bringing drugs and this and that. They're murderers. It's false.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Donald Trump. Wrong. You're wrong. The numbers. I don't care for whoever believes that. I'm sorry, but you're just wrong. You're flat out wrong.
Yep. The numbers don't bear out.
The numbers don't lie about that, right? You can't cherry pick a fact. You could find any fact. If you believe that, find actual evidence to support your claim. Cherry pick it if you need it, but you're not gonna find it because it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know, it's just I can't wait for this administration to be done, man.
Hopefully, Bernie wins, man. Bernie 2020 all day.
Yeah. Oh. That concludes our first episode, man.
It's a good one, man. And if you like the content, make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram. We have a Patreon, and you can also make sure to subscribe on YouTube. And we have a Facebook as well. I forgot about that one. All right, so that wraps up the first episode of
The
Right Lefties.
Take care, man. Till next time. Bye.